The Angle Show is giving away one WWE World Heavyweight Championship replica belt from WWEshop.com. It's the biggest giveaway on the channel once we hit 100K subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now. Welcome back to TAS. I, of course, am your boy Ango. This one's a big one. Massive plans for WWE. The merger is happening. New championship belts. We're going to talk about that. But first, I want to kick things off with PWI. Guys, Seth Rollins came out at number 1 for the official PWI Top 500. And this is obviously generating a ton of conversation. I feel like I never really get a chance to speak about Seth Rollins and what he's done for the World Heavyweight Championship. But I kind of want to throw some things out there because there's a lot of chitter-chatter that maybe Seth Rollins isn't deserving of this title. And obviously, everything is subjective when you have lists and rankings, and that's one of the benefits to following multiple personalities or publications on the internet. Everybody's going to have their own opinions. I think it's great to be open-minded and whatnot. Seth Rollins is coming in at number 1, and I don't really disagree with it. But I want to throw out some other things that could be said too, because there's a lot of chitter-chatter that maybe Roman Reigns should be number 1. Some people think Cody Rhodes should be number 1. Listen, I think you can make an argument for Seth, Cody, Roman, but if you really want to add more to the list, I think you can add Jon Moxley, Gunther, and Orange Cassidy to the list. And again, it's subjective, but what I really look for when I'm ranking the top 500 wrestlers, and again, this is not my list, this is Pro Wrestling Illustrated, but when I look at that and I see what's been done in the wrestling industry, Orange Cassidy, arguably one of the best championship reigns in AEW history. He really held it down with the International Championship belt. Jon Moxley constantly holding it down for AEW as their most reliable performer on the show. Seth Rollins, Gunther, I mean, look what they did for the World Heavyweight Championship and the Intercontinental Championship, respectively. There has been a lot of great things happening in pro wrestling in the past year, and quite honestly, if you want to make the argument that Seth Rollins or Cody or Gunther or Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley, Roman, it doesn't matter. If you can make an argument for them being at number 1, I think that is a really good thing. And I think more often than not, every year there is a clear, concise person who should be the number 1. This year, I feel like it's a little bit different. I feel like a lot of people stepped up this year. And look at what Seth Rollins has done with the World Heavyweight Championship. Honestly, to me, it's not the B championship. Roman is barely on TV, barely defending it. I think Seth Rollins did a really good job of making the World Heavyweight Championship a big deal, and that's exactly what he did. So the fact that he was able to do that, I don't see an argument with him being number 1. And what Gunther did with the Intercontinental Championship is unprecedented. So realistically, there is a lot of good things happening here. I want to know what you guys think. I don't really buy too much into the list, the rankings, the ratings, match ratings, things like that. But I'm just curious to hear what you guys think. I would love to hear from different perspectives on this. I think any one of those guys I mentioned could be number 1. What do you guys think? All right, guys, we've known for a while this was happening, but it appears to be official. Zach Gibson, James Drake, you remember them? Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed. They've pretty much made it clear that they weren't going to be staying with the WWE, and right now it doesn't appear that they will be staying with the WWE. Dave Meltzer did confirm that the Dyad are no longer with WWE NXT. Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew this was going to be the case. They told us ahead of time that they were going to be free agents, and look, the reality is I think these guys are incredible. I do, and I don't, not that the Dyad and the Schism faction was bad. Not that it was bad. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that it was bad. These guys made it work, but anybody who's watched the Grizzled Young Veterans know that they could have been utilized a lot better. And it's actually funny considering that the Triple H era has really put a huge emphasis on some of the foreign European talents in the WWE. I mean, look at Pretty Deadly, look at the Brawling Brutes, look at Drew McIntyre, Imperium, Ilya Dragunov, and these guys are serious. And I felt like they should have been a lot more serious of competitors in WWE, but WWE decided to go that route with them. They got the whole dark weirdo gimmick, and look, I like them a lot. FTR is doing a open challenge on Collision. I can see this being a case where they go into AEW. AEW is all about tag team wrestling. WWE is still figuring it out. You know, that's my criticism with WWE is the tag team division. It's scattered. They got the teams there. They're picking it up a little bit, but more often than not, tag team wrestling hasn't been a big focus for them. And the reality is, I like these guys a lot. And I think the Grizzled Young Veterans would be great tag team champions on the main roster. And I feel like they could definitely have banger matches on pay-per-view. But I just don't know if they're a priority for WWE. So it makes a lot of sense for them to be gone from the company. I mean, they kind of warned us. They were very clear. They tried leaving the company. They waited until their contracts expired. And I will give them a lot of credit based on what we know, based on the reports and stuff. I mean, they still showed up to TV. WWE didn't grant the release, but they still showed up to TV, and they were still doing good stuff on TV despite the fact that they weren't going to be staying. So it's unfortunate. I kind of look at this like a fumble. I feel like WWE kind of fumbled the bag here, but the good news is the wrestling industry is healthy. So if these guys want to go to Impact, they're going to have some bangers. They can always go and you know, have some great stuff there. If they want to go to AEW, there's going to be some great stuff there. Honestly, if I had it my way, if I was just, you know, the guy steering the ship, I would put them in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's just me personally. I would love to see them there, but that's just my opinion, which is cool because with AEW and New Japan, you could actually work both companies technically. So a lot of cool stuff there. I'll keep you guys updated if anything changes, but they're on their way out. Speaking of the tag team division, my friends, Boozer Wrestling dropping some very interesting info. Look, TKO is here. WWE, UFC merger. It's happening. Boozer Wrestling was asked about the Undisputed Tag Team Championship belts being split, and Boozer came out and said that it is very, very soon. So we know that the new tag titles are being split. We know that the new tag team titles are being revealed. Now, the picture in the thumbnail was an original concept of what WWE was believed to be doing originally. But now it appears that WWE will, in fact, go the route of having separate tag titles for Raw and SmackDown without the Raw and SmackDown branding. We've already talked about that before. So don't miss a video on this channel. We've talked about that. It's been a very big thing in the works for WWE. New championship belts. But now it appears it's happening very soon, which is part of the reason why the Judgment Day won the tag titles. What's really interesting, too, is that Boozer also came out and said that there is an opinion. So this is not like a fact, but there was an opinion that was being discussed in the backstage environment of WWE for a whole new title scheme. So new names for titles, revamps, like new belts, new logos, new designs, weight classes, potentially, perhaps even trios belts. These are things just being discussed. They're soft plans. But you got to wonder what WWE is going to do here because, honestly, with the new era kicking in, I mean, this is truly a new era. It's going to be very interesting. I think WWE is going to reveal new tag team championship belts. I think that'll kind of be the start of it. And then I think the mid-card titles and everything like that, the world titles. I don't know. We'll see. It's weird because some of these belts are kind of new, too. But, look, how is Judgment Day going to drop the belts? Are they going to drop Raw, SmackDown? I can't wait to see what they do, man. It's time for WWE to get this tag team division on the road. It's time for them to really take it serious, and I hope they do. Don't forget, 100K subscriber giveaway, one lucky winner. Go ahead and subscribe now.